Learning outcomes. Dear students, after studying this module, you shall be able to know about the meaning of intellectual properties and its importance, various threats to the protection of the intellectual properties, the policies and measures to ensure the safety of intellectual properties. First, the introduction. Intellectual property rights are the legal rights that cover the privileges given to individuals who are the owners and investors of a work and have created something with their intellectual creativity. Individuals related to areas such as literature, music, invention, etc. can be granted such rights, which can then be used in the trade practices by them. The originator or designer acquires exclusive privileges against any exploitation or use of work without his prior knowledge and permission. However, the rights are fixed for a limited period of time to sustain balance. Intellectual property can be pilfered, that is, infringed or defrauded in several ways. For example, copyrighted works such as books, music, movies, business software or games may be dishonestly invaded by duplicating or distributing unlicensed copies of such works either online or by manufacturing and distributing infringed CDs or DVDs containing the unauthorized content. A trademark may be trespassed by marketing merchandises, brands or other packaging containing an imitation mark. An exceedingly protected trade secret can be underhandedly wheedled from its owner either by a company insider or by somebody outside a company and used to profit an opponent. The following list of events which are enclosed by the intellectual property rights are laid down by the World Intellectual Property Organization, that is WIPO. Industrial designs, scientific discoveries, protection against unfair competition, literary, artistic and scientific works, inventions in all fields of human endeavor, performances of performing artists, phonograms and broadcasts, trademarks, service marks, commercial names and designations, all other rights resulting from intellectual activity in the industrial, scientific, literary and artistic fields. Approaches for cyber security. To design and implement a secure cyberspace, some stringent strategies have been put in place, which includes the creation of a secure cyber ecosystem and an assurance framework. It encourages the open standards by strengthening the regulatory framework. For the purpose of IT security, creation of security mechanisms is an important strategy. It further includes the protection of the critical information infrastructure by securing the various e-governance services. The main policies to safeguard the cyber security are discussed. First is creation of a secure cyber ecosystem. The cyber ecosystem consists of a comprehensive range of mixed entities like devices, computers and communication technologies, governments, individuals, private organizations, etc., which interact with each other for numerous reasons. This strategy explores the idea of having a strong and robust cyber ecosystem where the cyber devices can work with each other in the future to prevent cyber attacks, reduce their effectiveness, or find solutions to recover from a cyber attack. Such a cyber ecosystem would have the facility built into its cyber devices to authorize secured techniques of action to be systematized within and among groups of devices. This cyber ecosystem can be managed by contemporary monitoring techniques where software products are used to identify and report security flaws. A strong cyber ecosystem has three symbiotic arrangements. First is automation. It facilitates the execution of advanced security measures, develops the rapidity and enhances the decision-making processes. Second is interoperability. It toughens the collaborative actions, improves awareness, and accelerates the learning procedure. There are three types of interoperability. First is semantic, that is shared lexicon founded on mutual understanding. Second is technical, and third is policy, important in assimilating different contributors into an inclusive cyber defense structure. Authentication. It develops the identification and verification technologies that work in order to provide security, affordability, ease to use and administration, scalability or interoperability. Types of security breach. There are no set rules for determining the insurgencies to the intellectual properties, but it may be of the following types as discussed. First is attrition. Attrition means the weakening of the resistance of the victim system. There are several methods employed to damage networks and systems such as distributed denial of service attacks, impairing or denying access to a service or application, or even resource depletion attacks. Second is malware. Malwares are malicious softwares used to disturb normal computer operation and damage information resources without the possessor's permission. Any execution from a removable device can worsen the intimidation of a malware. Third is hacking. Hacking is an attempt to purposefully exploit weaknesses to get corrupt admittance customarily conducted remotely. It may consist of data leakage attacks, injection attacks and exploitation of functionality, spoofing, time-state attacks, buffer and data structure attacks, resource manipulation, stolen credentials usage, backdoors, dictionary attacks on passwords, exploitation of authentication. Fourth is social tactics. By means of social tactics such as trickery and manipulation, access to data, systems or controls are acquired. It includes pretexting like forged assessments, provocative phishing and retrieving of information through conversation. Fifth is improper usage, that is insider threat. Sometimes misuse of rights of access to data and controls by an individual within the organization jeopardize the security either intentionally or accidentally, and that would violate the organization's policies. It generally occurs by installing unauthorized software or removal of sensitive data pertaining to the security parameters. Sixth is physical action or loss or theft of equipment. These are again human-driven incidents and they may include embezzled identity tokens and credit cards, fraud with or swapping card readers and point-of-sale terminals, interfering with security sensors, and theft of a computing device used by the organization such as a laptop, hard drives, etc. Next is security mechanisms. There are some basic mechanisms available and functioning for safeguarding IT security such as link-oriented security measures, end-to-end security measures, association-oriented measures and data encryption. These methods differ in their internal application features and also in the attributes of the security they provide. First is link-oriented measures. The link-oriented countermeasures offers security while transferring data between two nodes, regardless of the ultimate start point and end point of the data. Second is end-to-end measures. It is a medium for transporting protocol data units, that is PDUs, in a protected manner from source to destination in such a way that disruption of any of their communication links does not violate security. Third is association-oriented measures. Association-oriented measures are a modified class of end-to-end measures that defend every association separately. Fourth is data encryption. It describes certain wide-ranging features of conventional ciphers and the recently developed class of public key ciphers. It encodes information in a way that only the accredited employees can decrypt them. Next are strategies to mitigate cyber risk. Due to the ever-increasing dependence on the internet, the biggest challenge encountered today is the security of information from criminals. Therefore, it is essential to promote research and development in cyber security so that a solution may come up with robust solutions to mitigate cyber risks. Cybersecurity research is the area that is concerned with preparing solutions to deal with cyber criminals. With cumulative quantity of internet attacks, advanced persistent threats and phishing, lots of research and technological developments are necessary in the future. In the recent years, our country has witnessed an enormous growth in cyber technologies. Hence, it calls for an investment in the research and development activities of cyber security. India has also seen countless successful and effective research results that were rendered into traits through the introduction of local cyber security companies. Research work to diminish cyber threats is already being launched in our country. There is a preemptive response mechanism prepared to deal with cyber threats. Research and development activities are already in progress at a number of research organizations in India to combat intimidations in cyberspace. Multi-identity based proficiency such as next generation firewall that deals in security intelligence to enterprises and empower them to put on best studied security controls at the network perimeter are also being worked on. Research in protocols and algorithms is a significant phase for the consolidation of cybersecurity at a technical level. It defines the rules for information sharing and processing over cyberspace. In India, protocol and algorithm level research includes secure routing protocols, efficient authentication protocols, and enhanced routing protocol for wireless networks, secure transmission control protocol, attack simulation algorithm, etc. Authentication techniques such as two-factor authentication, key management, and automated key management offers the capability to encrypt and decrypt without a centralized key management system and file protection. There is constant research going on to strengthen these authentication techniques. With the implementation of wide-ranging types of mobile devices, the research on the security and privacy associated tasks on mobile devices has increased. Mobile security testing, cloud security, and BYOD, that is bring your own device, risk mitigation are some of the areas where a lot of research is being done. Cyber forensics is the use of analysis techniques to gather and recover data from a system or a digital storage media. Next is legal provisions related to intellectual property. To protect the intellectual property rights in the Indian territory, India has defined the formation of constitutional, administrative and jurisdictive outline, whether they imply the copyright, patent, trademark, industrial designs or any other parts of the intellectual property rights. Legally, intellectual property rights can be further categorized into the following categories: copyright, patent, trademark, trade secrets, etc. Advantages of intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights are advantageous in the following ways. It provides exclusive rights to the designers or originators. It encourages persons to distribute and part information and data as an alternative of keeping it confidential. It provides legal defense and offers the creators the incentive of their work. It helps in social and financial development. So far, the government passed significant legislations based on international practices to safeguard the intellectual property rights, such as the Patents Amendment Act of 1999 facilitates the establishment of the mailbox system for filing patents. It offers exclusive marketing rights for a time period of 5 years. The Trademarks Bill 1999 replaced the Trade and Merchandise Marks Act of 1958. The Copyright Amendment Act of 1999 was signed by the President of India. The Industrial Designs Bill of 1999 replaced the Designs Act of 1911. The Patents Second Amendment Bill 1999 for further amending the Patents Act of 1970. Intellectual property in cyberspace. Every new invention in the field of technology experiences a variety of threats. Internet is one such threat which has captured the physical marketplace and has converted it into a virtual marketplace. To safeguard the business interest, it is vital to create an effective property management and protection mechanism, keeping in mind the considerable amount of business and commerce taking place in the cyberspace. At present, it is critical for every business to develop an operational and collaborative IP management mechanism and protection strategy. The constantly imminent threats in the cybernetic world can consequently be examined and confined. A number of approaches and legislations have been promulgated by the lawmakers to up the chance in delivering a secure configuration against such cyber threats. However, it is the responsibility of the intellectual property right owner to nullify and reduce such malefied actions of criminals by taking practical measures in obedience with the TRIPS. We will conclude this module with summary. Intellectual property refers to creations of the mind, inventions, literary and artistic works and symbols, names and images used in commerce. Intellectual property is divided into two categories. Industrial property includes patents for inventions, trademarks, industrial designs, and geographical indications. Criminal IP offenses are also known as IP crime or counterfeiting and piracy. Counterfeiting can be defined as the manufacture, importation, distribution, and sale of products which falsely carry the trademark of a genuine brand without permission and for gain or loss to another. Copyright is infringed when any of the above acts are done without permission, whether directly or indirectly, and whether the whole or a substantial part of a work is used, unless what is done falls within the scope of exemptions to copyright authorizing certain minor uses. Intellectual property crime includes software piracy, copying, infringement, trademarks violations, theft of computer source code, etc. Cybersecurity research is the area that is concerned with preparing solutions to deal with cybercriminals. With cumulative amount of internet attacks, advanced persistent threats and phishing, lots of research and technological developments are required in the future. Thank you.